Tuesday Drive with Stephen.
This is Tuesday Drive. Lovely to have your company as we come to you from the Berry Street Studios in Nowra. And for many, this long weekend meant escaping Sydney and flocking towards the south coast to make the most of easing restrictions. But for others across the Shoalhaven, it was a very honourable weekend indeed, with some of our very own being honoured with the Queen's Birthday Awards. One of them joins me this afternoon, and can I say I'm very lucky because he's made his way into our Berry Street studios, along with his very lovely wife, Bevan and Kay. Welcome to Tuesday Drive.
Thank you. Lovely to be here.
Now, Bevan, firstly, congratulations.
Thank you.
What's it like to receive an Order of Australia?
Well, I am very honoured, actually, to have received the award, because it's one of those awards, if nobody thinks enough of you to nominate you, you never get it.
When did you find out that you were getting it?
1 week ago.
And what was that? What was that like? What went through your mind?
Well, I knew I had been nominated by the Bomaderry Lions Club, and it was just a case of wait then until somebody sent me another message to say, well, yes, you've got it, and keep it under your belt until next Monday.
How tough was that to keep it a secret?
I didn't find it a problem.
You did? You did very well then.
Yeah, but somebody else I know
Gave it away.
Was a little different. But we have a daughter lives in Canada, so we thought, well, maybe we would let her know, because she doesn't see too many locals over there,
Yeah.
not from here anyway.
And what was her response when you told her the news?
Oh, her mother would know more about that than me.
Okay, I know you said you wanted to have the sole conversation to Bevan, but what was going through you? What did your daughter say when she heard the news?
Well, she got quite a surprise, and first of all she said, an OAM, what is it? Because she's been over there for quite some time. And we explained, and she went, oh my God.
Wow.
That's amazing, yeah.
She would have been one very proud daughter, I dare say.
Definitely. Yeah.
Now, Bevan, you've been involved with the Lions Club for a few years, or maybe a bit more than a few years. How long?
I joined in October 1977.
Wow.
And I've been an active member ever since.
And what made you join Lions?
Originally, when I was in the Navy here, when we had leave, we took off back to Queensland, because Kay come from Brisbane, I come from Bundaberg.
Okay.
So we'd go up for Christmas, and we arrived up there after driving all night to a burnt-out house. And that was a bit of a shock to us. But anyway, when things got sorted out, about a week later, the Cannon Hill Lions Club in Brisbane held a night to raise some money so the family could buy some furniture, so they could rent a house and at least have some furniture in it. And that was my first ever introduction to lions. I never knew they existed until then. And then when I worked at Tallowa Dam, there was an engineer by the name of Jack Green, who worked for the Snowy Mountains Authority. He invited me to join, because becoming a member of Lions is by invitation, and I joined, and consequently I've been there ever since.
Now, this is the Nowra Lions Club, is
No,
it?
Bomaderry Lions.
Bomaderry Lions Club,
Yes.
Right. What was it like when you first joined Lions Club? What was everybody's reaction towards you? Were they welcoming? Was it a bit difficult, not knowing many people?
No, I knew quite a lot of people, because I'd lived in the area for, well, I was 8 years in the Navy here, so I knew quite a lot of people. But there was about just under 30 in the club at the time, but no, I was accepted straight away into the club. We were a very busy club back in those days. Things were a lot different than they are today. We would do more physical work helping people rather than just raising money and giving it to people. So that's one of the big differences now with Lions. We do try and do hands-on work where we can, but a lot of times the work we used to do was all done by paid people now.
So back when you joined the Lions, was there a lot of fundraising going on back then?
There was some, but not as much as today. Our club had a catering van. We're up to number 3 now. So, but the catering van that when I joined they would have had that a couple of years. It was only just an old Chesney or one of those caravans gutted and a barbecue put at one end and a fridge in it, and that was it. But the one we have today is a purpose-built stainless steel and, a really nice...
Can I just say, whenever you go to a public event across the Shoalhaven, it's always such a welcome sign to see that Lions Club catering van, because my goodness, they do a really good bacon and egg roll.
They do.
Yeah. So there's an OAM right there, Bevan, with those bacon and egg rolls with the Lions Club van.
I still make those. Of a Thursday, the club does looks after the canteen at the stock sale yards, and that's a good little source of income. And our bacon and egg rolls are very popular.
Big question: rind on or rind off, Bevan?
Rind off.
Rind off. I'm with you. Yeah, there's nothing worse than pulling rind out of your mouth. That's for sure. Now, I understand that you were part of the original Carols in the Park. Is that right?
Yeah, 1978.
Tell me about that. What prompted the Lions Club to start that?
It was something that had been talked about in the club for quite some time. The president at the time was a surveyor from in town here, Terry Watkinson, and he decided that we should give it a go. And the first night, I think, it was held up at the showground in the old added area, and basically there was only the Lions members and their wives and family and a few friends that turned up, and we had a few people that helped us. There was a woman called Mariam Hatter, used to work at Jennings MacDonald for many, many years, and she was a wonderful piano player. And somehow or other, we always managed to get a piano or an organ up to the showgrounds in a horse float or something, and she would play the piano. But she'd done that for many years for us. We had some great times. We had Mary on the donkey, which my daughter, and she ended up sliding off.
I hope she didn't injure herself.
No, but we stayed at the showground for quite some time. We would get a semi-trailer and use that as a stage and park it in front of the pavilion in the showground, or the grandstand, and we would have it there. But then when Harry Sawkins Park came into being, we moved it down to there, but originally we didn't have a stage, so we would use a semi-trailer as a stage, and then eventually this stage was built down there. We had done a lot of pushing and shoving, but it did turn up eventually, and I think we're up to our 42nd or third one now.
Now, before that stage was made at Harry Sawkins Park, did you still have the piano?
Yes.
How many people does it take to put a piano on a semi-trailer?
I don't know.
Because that's quite a remarkable thing, because they're not a light instrument.
Yes, they probably had to be all retuned once it found its way home. But.
And so from the original days of Carols in the Park, I guess you've just seen it grow, haven't you?
Yes, we used to bring guest artists in at great expense to the club, and I always insisted that we had a lot of good local artists, and we eventually got away from bringing in guest artists and started using locals, which we've been doing ever since. We have some wonderful talent in this area. The fireworks came along, but they're a bit dodgy. If there's too much wind, we can't run them because the debris would fall on the roads and maybe cause an accident. So that we've had to put it off because of rain. I think we've only, in all the years it's been going, I think 3 or 4 times is all we've ever had to cancel it. We did have to cancel it in, and I can always remember the year because I was president in 1983. We moved it up to the Police Boys Club. It had only just opened, and our guest artist that night was Jimmy Little, a local.
Wow.
So we had Jimmy at least twice in that time. It's still going. There's a lot of work involved, and every year it just seems to get harder. More rules, more regulations, more red tape.
Do you have a preference of where you like the carol speed? Did you prefer it to be at the Nowra Showground? Do you like it actually being at Harry Sawkins Park?
No, Harry Sawkins Park in that bowl area is ideal. It's a beautiful area for sound and whatever. One of our biggest costs is the sound equipment to actually put it on.
Well, I know that there's a lot of people across the Shoalhaven that absolutely love carols in the park, and the odd times that I've gone, it's just so beautiful to see so many families there, like from young kids, all the way to older kids like myself. I've got to say, have you got a favourite Christmas carol? I mean, that's a lot of carols in the park that you've been to, Bevan.
Away in a Manger.
Away, yeah. That's a bit of a popular one, isn't it? Now, when I was speaking to you yesterday to line up this interview, you mentioned to me that there should have been somebody else that equally received an OAM as well, and I believe this special person is sitting beside you, Bevan. Why is that?
Well, she was involved in Scouts as well as I was for many years, over 30 years, both of us. And the Bomaderry Lions formed a Lioness Club back in 1968, and Kay was a charter member of that club. But unfortunately now the club has folded because the people who run it from America have decided that seeing women can now join Lions, because originally it was a men-only club. Because they can now join Lions, that they don't need Lioness clubs, so they were given the option of go away and play, or you can become a Lion. And my wife decided that one lion in the house was enough.
And speaking of lions in the house, what's it like to have an OAM recipient in the house, Kay?
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, I can tell. Have you had to bow to him at all?
No.
No. So he's been a very humble OAM recipient?
Yes, very.
Now, before I let you guys go, I understand you guys also had a business in the Shoalhaven as well. What was that one?
Our business is still South Coast Track Repairs.
Right, and when did you set that up?
In...
about 1975.
Wow.
Yeah.
And did you just find that there was a need for that in the Shoalhaven?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. And are you guys still running it now, or have you retired?
No, we've retired. But there is another younger bloke running it, and he's doing a good job. He must do, because we've been out of it for 15 years and he's still there.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So it's 45 years old now.
Now, I understand that your daughter is in Canada. Would you like to give her a big shout out at all?
Oh, we'd love to say hello to Sharon and Todd.
Hello, Sharon and Todd, all the way from Nowra in New South Wales.
Plus our
Australia.
2 sons are here, which is lovely.
In here in the Shoalhaven?
Wayne is here in the Shoalhaven and our son Darren is in Camden.
Oh, well, hello to all of them,
Yes.
and they must be very proud children indeed.
They are.
Well, Bevan and Kay, thank you so much for taking the time to come into our Berry Street studios this afternoon on Tuesday Drive and have a chat with me. It's always lovely to actually speak to people face to face, especially. And you guys actually my first guest post the easing of restrictions.
Oh,
so
that's wonderful, isn't it? Yeah.
It's even more special. And look, one last thing before I let you go. Now, I believe that you're coming up to your 55th wedding anniversary. Is that right?
That's correct.
Right, well, I found this special little song for you. I believe that Neil Diamond is a bit of a favourite artist in the family. So I have found for you Hello Again. I thought that would be very, very appropriate to celebrate your upcoming 55th wedding anniversary.
Thank you.
And Bevan, once again, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's been such an honour and a privilege to speak to you this afternoon. Well done.
Thank you.
Here we go, a bit of Neil Diamond.
Tuesday Drive with Stephen.